good to see you all. Let me go right to the top to see. Hi Rim Jim, hi Zenith, hi Soul Alchemy with Ruchi, hi Rashmi, hi Shweta, Lakshmi, Abrol, Madhu, Tenaz, Modi, thank you. Raisuni, Neha, good morning, our sunshine. Shweta looking so pretty, thank you. Uma Basu, Unlearn _ life. Hi Pooja, how are you? Doing really well, thank you for asking. Manpreet Kaur 13131, great morning dear sister. Great morning to you too dear sister. Saubana Pooja ma'am, hi good morning. Want your energy and your positivity. वही तो मैं देने आती हूँ, please ले लो. That's the whole point of the Insta live. So yes, please take as much energy and as much positivity and leave all your negativity here. I'm a professional. I know how to clean up the negativity. I don't want anyone leaving me after an hour and carrying back your negativity. You should feel on top of the world. That's the whole point of this session, है ना? Lovely, superb, super good morning, super good morning. Rimjim Chatterjee saying, first question, what are some important tools to commit to yourself well? What are some important tools to commit to yourself well? I don't know, Rimjim, if I fully understand your question, but I'm going to try to answer it to the extent that I can understand it. I think the most important tool that you can create for good commitment in life, which is what I guess your meaning is, knowing your why. So why do you want something? Why? What is the why behind it? You know, the more we understand our whys, the better. For example, I will tell you that a lot of what we desire in our life, the why comes from the deprivation of our childhood. So let's say, for example, that I grew up with seeing people not being too healthy around me. I will look for, one of my value systems will become health. If I grew up with less money around me, one of my value systems will become wealth. So our deprivations create our value system. Once we start to understand, because a lot of times people will say, like let's say for me, money and being financially free has been one of my big desires of life, that I don't want to depend on anybody. Maybe that's because in my childhood I have seen a lot of ladies depend on their men, and their men may be letting them down, or the women not being respected because they are not financially independent. So there's a part of me that wants that independence, that yaar mere ko kisi pe nahi depend karna, right? So what is my why? My why is my deprivation. So when you understand your why, like I see Puneet, he works out morning, evening, holidays, this, that. He's such a health conscious person naturally. And sometimes I'll ask myself, why can't I be like him? He's so good and with his disciplines. But his life experiences have been different from mine, right? So he saw his father suffer from cancer. He has seen what without health, how life can be. And so he understands that so well that became one of his value systems. So the most important thing I would say is our why. Okay, now when we don't follow our why. Am I back? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you give me a thumbs up emoji, anything to tell me that you can hear me clearly? Whoa. Whoa. Perfect. So first one was the why. Then I would move into the whole thing of building consistency. Commitment, once you've made a decision, your moods can't decide your life. Your life also can't decide your life. What needs to decide your life is really you starting to say, no matter what. So what do you need to do for that? For me, every morning, because I have a solid morning routine and I follow that, that gives me the energy and the motivation and inspiration to keep going all day long. So I'm going to ask you, what is your motivation and your inspiration? Can you write it out? Can you make sure you're journaling? You know, something that I recently experienced was that, can you create an identity for the best version of yourself and start to live in that identity in your current now. So if let's say I want to develop discipline this month, my theme is discipline. So can I keep on saying, disciplined Pooja, what would she do? Normal Pooja would just be lazy on her sofa. But disciplined Pooja will swim before her Insta live. Right? So, and keep making the choices that the disciplined Pooja, because right now who we are, we don't really fully understand who we need to become. But if we in our imagination can understand what choices would that version of me make, and we start to make those choices in our current version, a time will come when our future identity will merge with our current identity. Got it? So, first one is understanding your why deeply. Second one is building your consistency. And last one would be really starting to celebrate your small wins. Our mind loves to play monkey games with us. So what it will end up doing to us is that even when we'll achieve, let's say 10% of our goal, 20% of our goal, it will show us the gap of 80% rather than being proud of what we've achieved. So if I get onto the weighing scale and I've decided I want to lose 5 kilos, if I lose a kilo, instead of being happy about losing a kilo, I'm still like, but I still have 4 kilos to go, but abhi bhi aise hai, wo wali pant to puri nahi aa rahi, da 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 da. So I think just this whole, if you see every religion in the world, how beautifully they've brought in celebrations all through the year. Whether it is Eid or Christmas or Diwali or different festivals, the point was, can we bring something to celebrate, because life keeps happening to us. When you start to celebrate yourself, you start to celebrate your life on a daily basis, who you become in the process becomes so much more motivated and inspired. One of our biggest problems is we don't live in celebration. When you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you're saying to yourself? That is such an important thing, to set intention so that you can set attention. What is your intention? So, if you wake up in the morning and you go, I'm so happy to be alive today. I just love life. You start to say sentences like happy to be alive, love life, love the world, happy to contribute, happy to serve. If these are your sentences, what are the chances that your attention will go on all of what this to be brought back into your life, right? But most of us, what are we doing? When we wake up in the morning, we are not celebrating life. We are more like, आज की क्या problems है? ओहो, उसको email भेजनी थी, उसको डॉक्टर के पास लेके जाना था, उसको ऐसे करना था, उसको वैसे करना था. And we are stuck in that loop of that vicious cycle of bringing back more of, if we are upset, we get more upset. If we are angry, we get more angry. If we are bitter, we get more bitter. If we are resentful, we get more resentful, because we are stuck in that energy. Today, break the cord, cut the cord. Yesterday I was watching a Instagram reel, which I found very interesting. And it said, every day clean your aura. So how it taught us to clean our aura was, it said, take your right hand, put it on your left shoulder, cut across. Take your left hand, put it on your right shoulder, cut across. Take your left hand again, put it on your right shoulder, cut across. Okay. Then take your right hand again, clean your arm. Left hand, clean your arm. Right hand, clean your arm. Take all of your cords, put it in your left hand. Make a bundle. Cut it, cut it, cut it, cut it, and send it out as love to everybody. Beautiful activity to clean your aura. For people who do Reiki and pranic healing and all of that, they'll know all of this in 1 minute. But just another way of clearing your aura, because both your brains get synchronized when we use right to left, left to right. And you can study the entire science behind what I have just explained. But it's quite easy. Right to left, left to right, right to left. Then arms, arms, arms. And then take it as a bundle. Cut it, cut it, cut it with your right hand. And, infuse it with love and send it out in the world. That's it. If you can do this every day, anytime you're having a negative thought, you're having a negative energy mindset, you're feeling like someone's negativity is affecting you, just clean out your aura. Clean out your aura 3-4 times a day. जैसे हम जाके हाथ नहीं धोते खाने के पहले, खाने के बाद, वैसे ही अपनी aura cleansing पूरा दिन करते रहो ना. At one time, you will just start to feel lighter and you won't know why. Now, to this you add salt bath, then to you are magical. Okay? then what happens is on a daily basis, you're not letting the kachra take permanent seat in your brain. And one of the things we have to work really hard with, not letting our negativity become permanent. To have one thought is okay. To continuously relive those thoughts, that is suffering. And why are we creating our own suffering? उसने तो एक ही बारी किया था, हम उसको 100 बारी जी चुके हैं, तो फिर तो हमारी suffering हमारी हुई ना. Who's actually a bigger enemy? The one who did it or the one who relived it 100 times? Karishma, I lost my job and I feel so depressed. I had so many plans with the salary I will get. Now I'm feeling as if I've lost everything. Firstly, sorry Karishma that that's happened to you, but I want you to know that one of the things that we have to start to learn to do in life, and it's very hard to do, but if I was running a school and I was a principal of a school, this is the first thing I would put from second grade into all the classes is, how can we look at a bad situation in a positive way? I feel like if we start to look at it positively, the universe makes it positive. If we keep looking at it negatively, the universe makes it negative. So when somebody loses a job, I know it's such a crazy thing to say, but I had gone for Joe Dispenza's class in April, and one of the things he spoke about was that he had done his session or whatever, and somebody had put a case on him, and when he landed in LA, he had 53 phone calls from lawyers, from his office, from his, volunteers, from his, like, it had become a huge thing because he was in the flight for 8 hours or whatever. By the time he landed, it was a huge thing. Okay. And then Christmas holidays came and all of this needed to be attended to only on 4th January. And he said he will not pay any attention to the negativity of this person. He's just going to keep sending this person positive energy while he's going to keep himself in highly positive energy. And he said on the 4th of January, his phone rang an unknown number, and for him, he calls the divine unknown. So unknown number. He picked up the phone and the person who had put the case on him had taken the case back. Now to some people this will be a coincidence, but to people who work with spirituality, who work with the other realm, they will understand that when we don't fall, Michelle Obama says this so beautifully, when they go low, we go high. So when people fall, when energies fall, when expectations fall, but we still stay in an energy of positivity, the energy of being able to somehow hold on to whatever we can hold on to for a little bit of time, the whole life starts to change to become positive. So suddenly that same person calls you back and says, hey, we were hiring this person, that person's taken another job, please come back to this job. Or some job comes off from the universe. The thing is, are you expecting it? Or are you feeling like I have lost everything? If you believe you've lost everything, that will become your reality because the universe will prove you right. When somebody says I'm lazy, the universe says as you say it. If you say, I've lost everything, universe says okay. If somebody says I'm going to fall sick and die, done. The universe does not judge the commandments we make. The universe just keeps giving us the commandments we make. If we make better commandments on the universe's response will be very different from the commandments that we are making. So what is your expectation from life? What is your intention for life? Where are you putting your attention? If your attention is, I have so much bad luck, I am jinxed, ek job mili thi, wo bhi nahi rahi, and all of that conversation, then you're going to make that your truth, and that will be your truth. Earth is like a radio frequency. There are many possibilities on earth. So your destiny has 100 possibilities. This job, this job, this job, this job, this job. Depending on your frequency, you will attract the job. Can you stay positive when everything is negative? That one quality, if each one of us can start to work with, and you'll have to, and it's very, very hard, which is why everybody can't stay on a high frequency level, because you have to be delusional. You have to not be real. Realistic actually is not a great place to be in. You can see your realistic situation and then choose to have a positive, empowering thought over it. And that combination is what makes life magical. So try it out. I know right now, everything that I'm saying may or may not land with you because what you're going through is very hard. But just try it out and come back and tell me next week माई स्वीट हार्ट करिश्मा कि मेरे को जॉब भी मिल गई पूजा, मेरे को सैलरी भी इतनी अच्छी मिल गई, पता नहीं सब कुछ ठीक हो गया इस एक हफ्ते में, ये कैसे हो गया? गो एक्सपेरिमेंट विद इट. Organ nature craft. Out of 100, if you do 99 things and only one was a mistake, but the whole life it is being shown to you, how do you overcome that? See, the thing with the world is that they will only show you the wrong. They have no interest in your rights. Correct or no? So once you know that, what I like to always tell myself is that even life imprisonment, if you murder someone, is 14 years or something like that, right? If life imprisonment is 14 years, why are we facing lifetime's worth of punishment for something that we've done wrong? Anyway, we are not God, we are humans. Humans do wrong. So I know that till a certain limit, I will feel guilty towards a person if I've done something wrong. After that, I will start to feel bad. My guilt will settle because, I will tell myself that I forgive myself. At some point, I'm going to forgive myself. And then when I see that they are using it to their convenience, to their manipulation, then I am not interested in participating. Maybe it's time to let go of this relationship. If they don't value me anymore because of that one thing, then it's time to move on energetically or in real also. So, okay, I did something wrong. I'm agreeing I did something wrong. I'm not going to deny it. I will apologize. I will make sure it doesn't happen again. But if you are going to bring it up again and again and again and try to use every fight, you win, because eventually you bring up this one thing that I have no defense for because I know I was wrong. Then I am going to at some point pick it up and say, you know what, you have to either stop talking about it or I move on. And this happens in return to affairs, this happens in return to cheating, this happens in return to something that you could have done in your life that did not, at that point with the brains you had, you did it. And now in hindsight, you're realizing the consequences are far greater than what you had thought, and therefore you're done paying for it. At some point, you have to be done paying for it. So I will tell people that, look, mistake, yes, but you have to also learn to heal with it. I cannot be the only one apologizing. You also at some point, I'll give you 3 months to recover, 6 months to recover, 1 year to recover. How much time do you need? Tell me. But after which you're not allowed to pick this up, because if this is going to become the base of everything that we do now, so no matter how good I do, you take me back right into the dustbin. As soon as it's convenient for you to put me back in the dustbin, I refuse to live in the dustbin any longer. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Suruchi251. Hi, I am always in anxiety for something or the other. When I start writing about concerns, I couldn't write anything clearly. How does writing my problems help me? Please guide. Suruchi, what is anxiety? Okay, memory and anxiety, both are imaginary. What do I mean by imaginary? One is you going back in your past and trying to change something. Can you do that? No. So deep acceptance is the best way, right? Anxiety is the same thing for your future. You're imagining the worst case scenario. Okay. So when we look at our future and we imagine the worst case scenario, we will start to have anxiety. Can I tell you, 99% of the time, people who have anxiety never actually live the life that they have lived in their head. Which means your life is actually far better than the life you're living in your head. Which means who's your greatest enemy? You yourself. Correct or no? So you have to now start to go, okay, my mind, okay, I want you to call your mind a name. Let's keep her name Becky, okay? So Becky likes to protect you and Becky likes you to see worst case scenario. So Becky is showing you your worst case scenario. So that's what's causing the anxiety. Now you will use your intelligence and make it positive, okay? So what I do is, what's my worst case scenario in a situation? Let's say I'm imagining some family member of mine is dying, and death is a huge fear for a lot of us, right? So Becky is showing me what's possible. That it's possible that the car will crash and somebody will die. And then I will use my intelligence and say, there are millions of cars on the road. I will send divine protection from my side onto the car that my relatives are traveling in. And I will pray for them. And I will make myself comfortable, for I do not want to live Becky's life, which is a horrible life because she only imagines the worst. And I will disassociate myself from my own anxiety. I can't get rid of Becky. Becky's job is to protect me. She will always show me what what I don't want to see. So I can't disassociate with Becky in terms of I can't get rid of her. What I can start to do is use my intelligence to manage Becky. So I can't get rid of Becky, I can manage Becky. Who's Becky? Becky is your anxiety. Okay, you can call her whatever you like. Suruchi is your name, so you decide what your anxiety's name will be. I've just given you any random example, but just for you to start to understand clearly that we have to learn to understand that we are not our thoughts. Okay, and when we overthink things, we start to associate rather than disconnect. If you start to disconnect with your thoughts, you will be able to use your intelligence to empower yourself. When I used to in the beginning go on stage and I used to be like, what if I forget my speech? What if I forget my quotation? What if I forget my joke? What if nobody laughs? What if nobody reacts? What if nobody comes to the Insta live? I can drive myself crazy just thinking all of this, true or not. But then I would say, you know what? This is not me. This is my thoughts trying to scare me, but I am not my thoughts. And then I will journal. You asked, how can writing help my problems? I love to journal the worst and then the best. And then I have to choose, no, because both are not true. The real truth is right now the truth hasn't happened. So both are not true. They are both imaginary. Now I may not choose to write out the bad. I may choose to only write out the good. Sometimes you can just write out the bad and tear that paper or burn. Literally, I'll do like that. Dishkiyam. Okay, burn the paper, throw the ashes into the soil. You can have so much fun with it. How many of you have seen Jab We Met? She makes him, write out everything, and then he goes to the bathroom and burns that whole thing, or burns her photo, or whatever he does, right? So like that, you can start to remove your anxiety. You can start to handle your anxiety. The more you create rituals around handling your anxiety, the better. One of the things is to journal. Okay, now I like to journal more positive. So I'll write to Becky, dear Becky, I don't think that you are protecting me. Please allow me to think with my own intelligence. I'm not really interested in knowing your worst version. This is what is actually going to be happening here. Watch me grow. Watch me become the person I know I am. So then you start to disassociate with that negativity that lives inside of all of us. Okay? Deep healing with Prishta is saying, hi Pooja ma'am, money blockages remove करने के लिए कोई tips दीजिए या कुछ daily exercise please बताइए. If you really want to remove money blockages, there are a lot of things you can do. Okay, the first one being stop praying for money or stop connecting with money, start connecting with desires. If you notice, we never pray for fuel. In nobody's vision board is written 30 liters of petrol. No, why? Because petrol is a energy of the car, correct? So car is what we pray for. Petrol to aa jayega agar gaadi aa jayegi. So treat life like a car. Treat money like petrol. Don't pray for petrol. Pray for going to Lonavala for a lovely holiday or Goa. In the process, you will have to get the petrol to be able to go there, correct? So what I always tell people is think or imagine in terms of dreams and desires, never in terms of money itself. I see a lot of people putting money goals like, I want to have 2 lakh of rupees. I want to have 1 crore of rupees. I want you to go one step ahead and go, if I had 1 crore, what would I do with it? And then you have to sit in the feeling of, if you actually had 1 crore, what would you do with it? And how would you feel if you had all of what you would do with that 1 crore, right? 1 crore is important till you don't have it. Once you have it, what is important? What you can do with it, correct? So the most important thing is, what does it do for you? So let's say 1 crore gives me security and stability. If my life was secure and stable, what would I be doing in my life? Now I will imagine that full scenario and I will start to deeply journal, connect, visualize with that scenario, and that will open up all my money portals. If you notice, especially as women in India, we are so जुगाड़ू. अगर हमें वो diamond bangles चाहिए या हमें वो gold ring चाहिए या हमें वो earrings चाहिए या हमें वो bag चाहिए, वो आ जाता है किसी ना किसी तरह. वो कैसे आ जाता है? Because Lakshmi loves coming to you through items, not through money. Money is hoarding. When you hoard, you have negativity. It's like still water. If you hoard water, क्या होएगा? रनिंग वाटर वर्सेस स्टिल वाटर, वो ऊपर वो काई सी आ जाती है ना हरी हरी रंग की, फिर उसके ऊपर मच्छर आ जाते हैं, फिर उसके ऊपर डिजीज आ जाता है, वो पीने लायक भी नहीं रहता. Same is with money. Money must be in a flow. Flow of receiving, flow of giving. Flow of receiving, flow of giving. A lot of us love receiving. We are not giving enough. A lot of us are giving. We are not receiving enough. Some of us, we know how to receive. We don't know how to give. You have to create the flow. So there's a lovely video by a man called Ken Fonda where he speaks about arigato in, arigato out. Whenever money comes to you, honor it. Keep it properly in your wallet. Be sacred about it. Treat it like the respect it should be getting, right? And the same is when it's going out. Every time you're paying someone money, just remember this, that from wherever you got this, 10 times more will come when you give this away, because you're keeping the flow going. So instead of having negativity when you are removing money from your wallet, have positivity when you're removing money from your wallet. So see if you can start to work with all of these energies. You'll start to feel a lot better. Create a lovely vision board. You can have a vision board just on travel. You can have a vision board just on stuff. You can have a vision board on just happiness, things that give you happiness. You decide what energies you want to stay connected with. The more you can imagine your future, the more money will come to you. Okay, the more you are unable to connect with your future, and you are trying to attract money with the memories of your past which are negative. Somebody cheated you and now you're trying to make back that money, or money doesn't come easily to you and that's what you continuously keep saying. You have to change those sentences, because all those myths are creating blockages for you. Your abundance portal won't open till you don't start to say money comes easily and effortlessly to me. It comes from surprising people and sources. I keep receiving money without even realizing. Money keeps coming into my bank account even while I'm sleeping. All of these kind of sentences will start to create a new relationship between you and money. If you haven't done my money manifestation challenge, at some point do decide to do coaching mastery with me. When you do coaching mastery, I take you through a 21-day money manifestation challenge, and I can't even begin to tell you, I have over 500 to maybe 800 testimonials of how in those 21 days itself money started to come to the ladies that went through the money manifestation challenge. So highly recommend that you do at least one of those challenges with me, where you will get an hour video before, 2 hours video in the end, so that you can really open up your abundance portal, because that is an absolute essential. Women are receivers. Remember, we are the womb I spoke about last time. We are receivers. We block our receiving because we are culturally conditioned to give. Women were never supposed to be givers. We were natural receivers of the world, right? So that is why one of our issues is that we've blocked our receiving energy. Otherwise, women are manifestors. You tell me, do you know another single race in the world where they can sit and somebody will go earn for them and bring it home? We are the only ones. But what have we done to the housewife? We say, oh, how just a housewife, just a mother. I'm like, you try being a housewife. You try showing me while you sit and watch TV or cook in the house, somebody going and earning for you. That's the level of power God gave to the feminine, because he knew that she's in creative energy. Creators, if you see, even in our ancient wisdom, the Brahmins were the wise people. They were told by the kings that you don't ever have to worry about money. Anytime you are hungry, you can knock on anyone's house and they will give you diksha and all of that, right? उस चीज को हमने भिखारी एनर्जी कर दी, unfortunately. But actually there used to be a time on this earth when any Brahmin, if he came and ate in your house, it was your good luck. So can you see how much receiving energy? So wisdom is receiving energy. Woman is receiving energy. A wise woman is completely in receiving energy. So learn to receive and you'll start to see money flowing at you. You have to open all of this up. You have to start to believe that you are worthy of it just by the creation of God. You don't even have to do anything. As a creator, a flower doesn't have to do anything for someone to stop and see the beauty in a flower, right? Do we stop for the leaves? Do we stop for the buds? No. When do we stop? When the flower fully blossoms. What does it have to do? Nothing, just be itself. Uski fragrance, uska color, uski beauty is magnetizing. Same way, a woman is like a flower. She's magnetizing. We don't own our magnetic energy. We are not sitting in our magnetic energy. We are not using our aura field, our energy to be magnetic. Instead, I'm too fat, I have dark circles, my underarms are dark, I have stretch marks, you keep saying, if a flower told you 1,000 times it's ugly, you'll actually start to believe it. I think that's what's happened to us women. We have so in our hearts believed that we are ugly. My double chin, my fat nose, my dark circles, my grey hair, we don't stop. एक चीज ठीक होती है, दूसरे पे चले जाते हैं. Today onwards, for this 1 week, I will give a challenge to every single person in this room. You are not allowed to criticize your body even for a minute. It is such a bad energy aura you are creating. You are creating your own blockages. You are creating your own disease. I remember at one point, one of my teachers made me write down all my flaws and then said, go stand in front of the mirror after your bath every single day and send love to your bums, send love to your feet, send love to every part you ate, to your stretch marks, to your fat neck, and every day for 1 month, I sent love to every part of my body till now. Now you will not hear me say all of those things that I used to say. Even if I say it to show as an example, I don't carry that energy anymore. I love who I am. It's not like I'm flawless, but I'm flawsome. Awesome ka flawsome. Image designer Mansi, what are the things important when you are filling your own cup? When you are filling your own cup, apart from not feeling guilty about choosing yourself? I'm going to guess that I've understood the energies, Mansi, that you're feeling guilty about having to be selfish. Can I tell you, for women especially, I say this 1,000 times, selfish to be selfless. We are so culturally conditioned to be selfless and bitter. That's our formula. पहले देते रहो और फिर इतना एक्सपेक्ट करो दुनिया से because वापस नहीं कुछ आ रहा, that you become bitter and resentful. So when I see a woman in bitter and resentfulness, I tell her, please, I'd rather you be in guilt and choose yourself than be bitter and resentful. So in the beginning, as you are filling your own cup and you're feeling guilty, wherever it is that you're feeling guilty, you make it up in the ways that you can rather than the ways that they want. And I'll explain that to you. So let's say when I started to work, my children wanted something from me. They wanted to go to the zoo. Okay. Now, I want to take them to the zoo, but I can only take them on Saturday. So I sit down with them and I say, you know what, 100% we'll go to the zoo, but on Saturday. Let's say my mother-in-law is having a kitty party and she wants me to come up and be with her friends. I'll say, you know what, mom, I'll finish my class, I'll come up for dessert, and not only that, I'll bring 2 desserts also. Okay. So I will compensate the people that I'm guilty towards, but at the level that is comfortable for me, rather than trying to fill up their cup with the things that they expect from me. And can I tell you, this works so wonderfully because slowly your guilt starts to settle because you are doing, right? But you're doing with your convenience in mind rather than their convenience. Now, there are people in this world where if you give them your blood, bone, sweat, whatever, they will want even more than that. Those are the people that reveal themselves to me. Some people will become grateful and some people will in the end still be like, but तूने वो नहीं किया और तूने ये नहीं किया. Those are the people that you need to cut cord with. If anybody after you are compensating is still making you feel guilty, then I want you to know they are manipulating you. They don't have your best interest. They only have their best interest. I want to be in relationships with people where it is win-win. I don't want to be in relationships with people where it is win-lose. If somebody is okay with me losing without keeping me in mind, then I'm not sure if that relationship really deserves me. And that's a question I will ask myself in case I feel like after giving also, it's not like I'm going to become so selfish that I'll stop giving. It's just that I will become selfish enough to give to the level that I can rather than nichodoing myself so much that I become खट्टा नींबू. You know, नींबू को अगर ज्यादा निचोड़ दो तो क्या होता है, वो एकदम कड़वा हो जाता है. तो कड़वा नींबू नहीं बनना हमने, ठीक है? Neha, hi, I have a toxic husband. How to handle? I have a small baby too. I stopped working for my baby, but things are not working out. How do I handle these daily fights? Neha, it's always hard when the partner is not somebody who you have, who is worthy of your love or worthy of your liking. And to those women, I always say, go on a learning journey for the next 2 years. You need to work so hard on yourself. Please do not spend the rest of your life either trying to change him or waiting for him. Both are not going to work. What's your third option? Empowering yourself. Do courses, become somebody, attend to your baby 100%. Let your baby receive 100% of you. By the time your baby is 5, you should not come back into the world after your baby's gone off to school to start. You should come back into the world prepared. So when your baby's sleeping, can you read good books? Can you come for my Insta lives? Can you watch some podcasts? Can you keep working on yourself? The more you focus on yourself, the lesser power your toxic husband has on you. The more you focus on him and his kachra. Do you know that all toxic men, the thing they hate most is being ignored? And the one thing I want you to become super smart in is him not being able to control your mood. वो जो करता है करे, बट वो मेरा दिन नहीं खराब कर सकता, वो मेरी लाइफ नहीं खराब कर सकता. और उसके लिए what do you need to do? अगले 2 साल लगकर you do that. This is why I am such a keen advocate of women being financially independent. जब वो independence आ जाती है, you can handle everything else. Till the time you're under someone financially, कितना भी कह लो, the person will get to make the most important decisions of your life. So every single one of you, if you are watching this, whether right now you have a good man, bad man, amazing man, beautiful man, gorgeous man, ugly man, I don't care. I want you to think of ways where you can become financially independent. You don't know when in life you will need your own petrol for your own car. Okay, let me go right to the bottom and see what's happening there. Just seeing all of the comments to all of the things that I've been saying. Today I have shared your live with at least 7 to 8 persons. That's so sweet, Neeta Pandit. Love you. Mohini, hi Pooja, my dad has kept comparing myself to my younger sister since we were children. I was not brilliant as my sisters academically, but I am good at the areas where my sister lacks. But I keep feeling bad for it every time because he always takes opinions from her and he keeps demeaning me. मोहिनी, जिसको घर से नहीं प्यार मिलता उसको दुनिया से प्यार मिलेगा. ठीक है, अब आप चूज कर लो, आपको आपके 3 लोगों से प्यार चाहिए या आपको दुनिया से प्यार चाहिए. एंड व्हाई एम आई सेइंग दिस? आई वांट यू टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट एनी चाइल्ड, ओके, द वे आवर सोसाइटी और वर्ल्ड हैज बीन क्रिएटेड, children are being measured directly proportionate to their ability in academics. Okay, so somebody could be as good, I don't know if you've seen that cartoon where they are showing a monkey, a fish, a horse, a elephant, a giraffe, a lion, and the teacher is saying, now whoever climbs the tree the best gets the award. And of course the monkey is going to win that award, right or no? So if we are going to be, each one is made unique, but we are going to be measured in the same way, then there will be somebody who will have that advantage for sure. Right now your sister has that advantage, but you keep building whatever it is that you are brilliant in. Because can I tell you, a day will come, my brother was so much smarter than me as far as English and all of his intelligence was concerned, that I remember when I started to do this work, I had people coming to me and telling me that, you know what, Pooja, we are so pleasantly surprised that you're doing something in this. And they couldn't believe, because they had never seen any side of me that was this kind where it could have been proven to them that I would do the work I do, right? And I think one of the biggest compliments you will get in the world is when you knew what you were capable of, what was your potential, but nobody else ever saw it. And so you turn out to be what we call the underdog or the surprise package. And somehow the surprise package is a lot more glorified in the end than the one from whom you expect. So let your sister right now enjoy for how many ever years she can. And then eventually you enjoy. And I always say, if I have to decide between the first 20 years of my life and the balance 60 years of my life, I prefer having to win in the balance 60 years than in the first 20 years. Because the real truth today is that schooling system or our academics has no connection to the success that we will gain in our life. And I want to just send you Mohini blessings for the success that you're going to get in life because of the deprivation of your childhood. You remember me in the beginning of today talking about deprivation, because you've been deprived of acknowledgement, validation, approval, all of this will become your value system, and you're going to do everything it takes to be able to gain that in the world, even if though you didn't get it from your family. But remember this, once you get it from the world, there will come a time when your own dad will come and say, I never realized how awesome you were. And you know what? Those are such great days of closure. I've had my closure with my spouse, with my mother-in-law, with my father, with my family members, where different people at different times in the last 10 years have come and said, we never thought you will. We never thought. And you know what? It's a good feeling. By then, you don't even need it because you've way outgrown their approval. But whenever it does come, trust me, till today, it feels really good when it does come. Not that I will be waiting for it, but when it will come, it just does heal that one wound or that one arrow that was sitting in your heart for as many years as possible. Lovely. Let me go right to the bottom, right to the bottom, right to the bottom. Happier woman. Pooja, did you give any free sessions before you started earning? So sweet. Honestly speaking, there's a lovely sentence. I'm trying to think what it was that I used to follow a lot at that point. Visibility plus credibility equals to profitability. I really like this sentence, to be very honest. So what does it mean? In life, when you start to do something, the first thing if you start to do is earning, then money won't come because you're not yet visible enough. Enough people don't know you for you to become abundant. So you need to do something to first become visible. That means you need to invest before you will reap the rewards, right? So visibility. One of the things you do in today's world to get visible is keep giving out free things. Whether it is my Insta live, sister verse, goddess verse. I have so many things. I just recently did science of spirituality. I'll keep doing within my community and outside. I will keep trying to be visible. Okay, because visibility is what's going to make people connect to you for them to eventually buy something from you. You have to build trust. Trust comes from first they getting to know you, then they getting to like you, only then they will trust you. So the know you, like you phase, it's like if a man came up to you and proposed marriage to you, what are you going to say to him? Are you going to say straight, let's get married? No, what are you going to say? You're going to say, let's go for 2 dates first. Let me even see first let me get to know you, then let me get to like you, then we will get married, right? So expecting people to buy from you without them knowing you is like going for a movie without reading the review, without seeing the trailer, without knowing who the actor, actress is, whether you even like them. You wouldn't invest that way, right? So yes, absolutely. If you really want to build your career in coaching or in anything else, my suggestion is first become visible. Let people get to know you through the free stuff that you do. If they get to know you and they start to like what you say, that's what's going to build your credibility. Now, some of you who are sitting in this room today, you're sitting in this room because what I am saying connects with you. It reconfirms your own wisdom. You already kind of know what I'm saying. In your heart, it just resonates that, oh gosh, I actually know what she's saying because I do that already. Or I know if I do what she's saying, it will come true for me, or I will be able to fix my life. Either which ways, my wisdom resonates with your intelligence and your wisdom. Whenever that will happen, the person who knows you will start to then like you because you are similar in your value system, in your energy, in your thinking, so that's the attraction power. That's what the magnet comes in, right? And then you work with profitability, which means after you know me and like me, what are the chances that you'll come for my courses and say, yaar, agar ye free mein aisa deti hai, to iske courses kitne achhe hoenge? And then you may land up joining some program of mine and go, wow, acha, real stuff to iska sara udhar baitha hai. Got it? So, happier woman, highly recommend that you start to build your social media profiles, you start to go speak free keynotes, you start to do different things to build the brand, because in the beginning it's all going to be visibility, credibility before the money starts to come in. Okay? For how many years, dear? I'm doing it till today. I'm on my 15th year. I'm still sitting here and giving free. Okay? But of course, free, and then you'll start making money. Free, then you'll start making money. To every free you give, from there some money will come. So it'll become balancing. Got it? Sarita Jolly. Hi Pooja, I keep overdoing things for people, and especially my brother. He will be very sweet when he needs me, and then when his need is met, he will just suddenly stop talking to me, no matter in the hard. See Sarita, when we allow people to take us for granted, then we can't complain about it. Hai na, Meri Jaan? So you have to now decide, why are you going on being so sweet to him? What is it that he is giving you? Maybe you're looking for his approval. Maybe you're scared to lose him. Maybe you're scared to upset him. Maybe you have to ask yourself, what is it that you're not asking him, that you only come to me when you need me? Otherwise, I'm not anybody who you care for. So you have to have that. You have to at some point confront, or you have to start backing off from doing. One of the two you need to do, no, so that you can protect your own energies. Otherwise, what you're doing? You're giving somebody a knife and saying, khopte jao, kuch nahi hota. That's what's happening right now. Every time he needs you, he becomes extra nice. You think, oh, now that he's extra nice, when you need him, he will be there. But the truth is, he's not there when you need him, but he's there whenever he needs you. You're there every time he needs you. So you need to start to go, okay, I love doing for people I love, okay? But I know exactly to what level to do so that I don't become bitter and resentful. So I do a lot for others, and then I say, Godji, you give me. I'll do for them, you give me. But at any point, if I start to feel that the people I love are taking me for granted to a level where I'm starting to get angry or bitter or anything, then I let them know that more than this I can't give. Please either become grateful or please manage yourself, because more than this I can't give. Then I start to have expectations, and then my expectations create negativity in me, and I don't want to have any negative thoughts against you. You can have these conversations, and you don't even need to have these conversations in a negative manner. Sometimes all you need to tell them is, I'm getting hurt. When you speak about your emotions rather than accusing them of, making them defensive, people start to either understand or they stop using you for whatever they are using you for. Okay? Viji Art 22. Dear Pooja, when we are pursuing an opportunity, how to know that's our ultimate calling? Or what if something else is more aligned that comes up? How to identify one's true purpose? How to arrive at clarity? Viji Art, the most important thing to start to understand when you are going on this journey is that you don't need to know your ultimate calling right now. Your ultimate calling is something you will look back at your life at the age of 50, 60, 70, 80 and say, that was my ultimate calling. Let me give you Gandhiji's example. When he was doing law was his ultimate calling. When he started to go to Africa and work there, that became his ultimate calling. When he came back and started to do law in India, that became his ultimate calling. When he started to fight for the country, that became his ultimate calling. Eventually, he became Mahatma Gandhi. That's when he came to know that his ultimate calling was becoming the Mahatma he became. Same for Mother Teresa. When she was becoming the principal of Loreto Convent, she had no idea that she was going to be, eventually running the richest NGO on the planet, missionaries of charity, nuns, sisters, doing the kind of service she eventually landed up doing, right? She had no idea at that time. So we don't work towards figuring out our ultimate calling. We just work towards doing the things that give us joy. One of the ways to know whether something is in alignment with you or not is you will start to feel an inner joy in doing it. You know how people say that, like, I would do this work even if I wasn't getting paid for it. Now I'm glad I get paid for it, but you know what? I will leak on people because this is my natural me. I tend to sit down with anybody and have the ability to raise their frequency, to make them feel better about their life, to remove all of their problems and absorb all of their negativity. It's a natural thing for me to happen, right? I would be doing it anyway. I'm so glad that I found my profession. True. Now, at one point, I was running a preschool. When I was running the preschool, it didn't mean that I wasn't doing it then. I have teacher energy built into me. मैं कहीं भी जाऊंगी मैं टीच ही कर रही होंगी. So अभी that time I was teaching in a preschool. Now I am teaching women how to live their life. At some point else I will teach something else. But the alignment is teacher energy. Did you understand? Gandhiji's alignment was justice. Whether he did law or whether he did freedom fighting, it was all around him standing up for the injustice of the Britishers or injustice of whatever was happening. So the value system is justice. The value system is teacher. The value system in Mother Teresa was helping the poor or helping the needy, right? So she will help the needy, whether it was helping at the school level or at the roads of Calcutta or whatever it was, right? Once you understand that, then you can keep aligning. Now, it takes time to understand. It takes years of experience to understand your ultimate calling. So my suggestion is, don't measure your life going through it by knowing in advance what your destination is. Just start to look at, are you feeling joyful in the journey? When you do a project, when I was running my preschool, I was running it with as much passion as I am today speaking to you with. The passion didn't change. I was as passionate about that, right? So you just have to keep checking that, you know what, am I in alignment? Am I in alignment? Do I feel happiness when I'm doing this? If you feel happiness is your, or joy is your GPS. It's your way of knowing that you are on track. So how we have GPS in our cars and we know we are on track just by following the route, your joy is your GPS. So every time you are in joy, you should know you are doing something that is in alignment with you. Anytime you're feeling like, you know, I remember I used to teach in colleges at one point and there was this child who really wanted to do Viscom था शायद, ऐसे ही कुछ नाम था, Masscom, Viscom. And he was sitting in this engineering college and by the 8th session of mine, he said, the first thing I need to do, ma'am, is leave this college and move to, imagine the college only has hired me and they are only losing a student because of me. But he knew for sure that his parents had forced him to do engineering, but engineering is not where his heart lived. He wanted to be a designer. He wanted to be a freelancer. He wanted to be... And so a lot of times life moves us in directions where we don't really belong. And we realize that because we are so misaligned, we are so upset, we are so nothing is flowing. We are not in flow state. We are in anger state. But the minute you do something that you absolutely love, you'll start to see a flow state. You'll start to see the whole universe conspiring. Just the way we have resistance against things we don't want to do, we also have assistance when we start to do things that we love. And to notice that assistance is one of the things that will take you forward in your journey of knowing your purpose. So don't go with purpose, just go with passion for now. Neha Creator, if 2 people come for free and never come for paid, not just 2, Meri Jaan, there are 242 people sitting here, maybe 20 of them are my clients. Correct or no? Lot of people will come free, very few will come paid. And that's the ratio proportion of giving in business. Okay. Do you know how much money these big companies spend on marketing? 70% of their income goes into marketing. Marketing is which uses up. How many of the people who read the Coca-Cola ad actually go buy Coca-Cola? 1%, 5%, maximum 10%. I don't see more than that. Correct or no? So you have to start to understand that the 10% that do buy Coca-Cola makes Coca-Cola so rich. So this whole mentality, that you need to chase money, you just need to add value. Add so much value in people's lives that eventually they fall in love with your product, okay? And those who are, I used to, at one point, used to do clarity calls, okay? So I used to do a lot of one-to-one. So everybody who never used to convert but used to get 1 hour with me and in the process solve their issues, I used to call it charity call. So I used to do clarity calls and I used to do charity calls. Clarity calls were the ones who eventually paid me and became clients. Charity calls were everybody who came, did the clarity call but didn't convert. Okay. So what? So what? Why are you so scared that somebody will come and take something from you? Please open up your hearts and start to know that marketing and sales are two different departments. You market to 100 to get sales for 2. Once you start to understand, if you contact 100 people, 10 will buy. Now, are you contacting 100 people or are you contacting 10 and saying 10 तो खरीद नहीं रहे? गलत बिजनेस स्ट्रेटजी, ठीक है? बिजनेस स्ट्रेटजी क्या होती है? Marketing to 100, sales to 10. Once you understand it's a 1:10 proportion for everything, now you will start to look at marketing and sales as a numbers game rather than a personal rejection to you. Neha Rai Soni, Pooja, waiting for you to launch something new. Wanna be in your live energy often. Oh, I am very, very excited because mostly December first week will be my first spiritual retreat that I'm planning to do. And whenever that happens, the first people who will get to know about it is within the community. I'm only going to have 100 people in that retreat. I will open it up to my community. I have a feeling within the community itself, it will finish sales, and I will never go out in the world to let people know what I'm doing within the community, because I have a feeling wahi pe hi big jayega sara program. But I'm super excited. First week of December, if you are listening to me, please keep yourself free. It will be a good 4 to 5 days ka course, and together physically let's meet and do some magic together. I really want 2026 to be the year for those 100 women to really celebrate life and become at peace with who they are and attract and manifest things that are beyond miracles, as I like to call it. How can I connect with your one-to-one calls? Currently, I have a waiting list of almost 15 to 20 people, so don't even register right now. Whenever I do open it up for 2026, I will let you know. Right now, the one-to-ones are fully booked and gone. Rather, I'm going off to Bangkok and I'll be doing one-to-one sitting from there. That's all I'll be doing, finishing all my one-to-ones so that I can create space for new people. Postpartum coach Shalini, my co-sister plays double game with me and my mother-in-law and portrays me as the bad person to her, act kind to me, how to handle. Nothing, Shalini. The truth will eventually emerge, is what I have seen in my life. Anytime I go out to justify or explain myself to someone, what I've seen is people who've decided to misunderstand me will even misunderstand my explanation and justification, unfortunately. So my suggestion is just become so good a human being, so amazing, so loving, so kind, so giving, so successful, so fabulous, that the world starts to become your spokesperson. So I have stopped trying to justify to people who've decided to misunderstand me. Kitni der? You know, if you think that these double game people will win in the end, they don't. They pay the price. Karma will come and bite them back so badly that even they won't know. Later on, you will be praying for them someday. And you will be like, okay, God, ठीक है, उसने मेरे साथ बुरा किया, but अब इतना भी बुरा मत करो उसके साथ, बचा लो उसको, मैं बोल रही हूँ. And that is such a good feeling when you pray for the people who hurt you, because karma will bite them back really badly. So for me now, I'm not looking for justice on earth. I just look up and say, God ji, you handle this for me. Make me so lucky. I'm not interested in what you do with them. I'm interested in you returning the favor by giving me so much abundance, such great relationships, such great energy, such great success, such great luck, that I don't have to justify and explain all the accusations that were made on me. My success itself will prove to the world that no, she wouldn't have done that those were all accusations. I don't want to be sitting and explaining anything to anybody, because I've realized the more you explain, the people who have a small mind will take your awesomeness and make, let's say you have a bucket of water and I put a drop of poison in it. Will you drink it? My bucket is water. Somebody could just put a pinch of poison, but that becomes undrinkable, correct or no? If somebody puts a pinch of cyanide in it or whatever. So the thing is that you can give somebody गंगा जल, and their small mind का cyanide will make that also unpurified. क्या फायदा, कितना समझाओगे? और फिर उस वाटर को क्लीन करना इज ऑलमोस्ट एज क्लोज टू इम्पॉसिबल, उसको फेंकना ही पड़ता है. ऑलराइट, ओ 11:02 हो गए. ओ गॉश, जल्दी से फोटो लो और भागे. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर कमिंग. लव यू ऑल सो मच. इतने सारे क्वेश्चंस रह जाते हैं, मुझे इतना बुरा लगता है. आई एम सो सॉरी फॉर एवरी सिंगल वन ऑफ यू हु रोट long paragraphs. I could see there are so many still questions that I could have answered, that I should have answered, but unfortunately due to the constraint of time I have no choice. So 1000 kisses, sending you energy. I hope कोई answer किसी तरह is able to connect with whatever you were asking, and go back, watch the old Insta lives. कहीं ना कहीं तो आपको आपका आंसर मिल ही जाएगा. ठीक है, लव यू सो मच. जल्दी से फोटो ले लेते हैं. ए, मेरा हार्ट क्यों नहीं आ रहा? आजकल आना बंद हो गया क्या फीचर? कैसे करते हैं? कुरियन. Love you, thank you. You know what you need to do. Just take a picture, write your biggest takeaway, put it on your stories, tag me so that I can share it in mine. Have a great week. Love you so much. Tata, bye bye. Ciao.